In a quiet London suburb, a 9-year-old girl with bright eyes and perfect diction stood in her living room, reciting Shakespeare to an audience of stuffed animals. She wasn't just playing pretend, she was preparing. When she auditioned for a role in a little-known film adaptation of a children's book called Harry Potter, no one could have predicted that this poised, bookish child would grow into one of the most influential women of her generation. That girl was Emma Watson, and while the world first knew her as Hermione Granger, her true legacy lies far beyond the wand and the castle, in boardrooms, refugee camps, and university campuses, where she champions gender equality, sustainable fashion, and the transformative power of education. Born on April 15, 1990, in Paris to British lawyers Jacqueline and Chris Watson, Emma spent her early years moving between France and England before settling in Oxfordshire. Her parents divorced when she was 5, but maintained a supportive co-parenting relationship that prioritized stability and intellectual curiosity. From an early age, Emma showed a love for literature, debate, and performance, attending the Dragon School in Oxford where teachers noted her exceptional focus and eloquence. At 9, after 8 auditions over several months, she won the role of Hermione Granger in Harry Potter and the Philosopher's Stone, a character whose intelligence, loyalty, and moral courage would mirror her own values for years to come. Filming the Harry Potter series consumed more than a decade of her life. While her peers attended regular schools and experienced ordinary adolescence, Emma balanced homework with 12-hour shooting days, international premieres, and the surreal weight of global fame. Yet she insisted on completing her education, often studying between takes and hiring tutors on set. When the final film wrapped in 2011, she made a deliberate choice: step away from blockbuster offers to pursue a degree in English literature at Brown University. She later transferred to Oxford's Worcester College to accommodate filming schedules, but remained committed to academic rigor, graduating in 2014 with a strong foundation in feminist theory, philosophy, and literary criticism. It was during these university years that her activism began to crystallize. She devoured works by Simone de Beauvoir, Bell Hooks, and Gloria Steinem. She volunteered with literacy programs and women's shelters. She questioned the fashion industry's environmental impact and the entertainment world's narrow standards of beauty. By the time she returned to public life, she was no longer just an actress, she was a thinker with a mission. In 2014, at age 24, she accepted an invitation to become a UN Women Goodwill Ambassador. Her debut speech at the United Nations headquarters in New York launched the HeForShe campaign, a bold initiative calling on men and boys to stand as allies in the fight for gender equality. In clear, passionate language, she dismantled stereotypes, challenged toxic masculinity, and emphasized that feminism benefits everyone. The speech went viral, amassing millions of views within days and sparked global conversations in classrooms, corporations, and governments. Critics dismissed it as celebrity activism, but Emma responded with action, not words. She traveled to Bangladesh and Zambia to meet garment workers and girls denied education. She visited Syrian refugee camps in Lebanon, listening to women's stories of displacement and resilience. She partnered with organizations like Camp Campaign for Female Education to fund scholarships for girls in sub-Saharan Africa. She didn't just lend her name, she immersed herself, often staying long after cameras stopped rolling to ask deeper questions and build genuine connections. At the same time, she redefined her relationship with fashion. Appointed as creative advisor to People Tree, a fair trade brand, she helped design collections that proved sustainability and style could coexist. She championed circular fashion, wore vintage or eco-conscious pieces on red carpets, and used interviews to highlight ethical designers. In 2018, she launched the Press Tour, a digital platform documenting every outfit from her Little Women promotional tour with full transparency about sourcing, materials, and labor practices, setting a new standard for celebrity influence. Her film choices reflected her values. She turned down major franchise roles to star in The Perks of Being a Wallflower, The Bling Ring, and Beauty and the Beast, the latter reimagined with a more independent, book-loving Belle who invents a washing machine and challenges patriarchal norms. Even in fantasy, she sought substance. She also produced projects through her company Good Thing Going Productions, focusing on stories by and about women, often centering on social justice themes. Beyond gender, she advocates for mental health awareness, digital privacy, and climate action. She sits on the advisory board of Curring's Women in Motion program and supports Time's Up UK. During the pandemic, she donated to food banks and mutual aid networks. She rarely posts selfies or promotes products. Her Instagram is filled with book recommendations, activist resources, and calls to civic engagement. In 2023, she stepped back from acting to focus fully on advocacy, telling friends she felt her greatest contribution now lay in systemic change, not screen roles. She enrolled in a master's program in creative writing and continues to mentor young women through educational initiatives. She lives modestly in London, avoids tabloid culture, and guards her private life fiercely, a rarity in an age of oversharing. What sets Emma Watson apart is not perfection, but intentionality. She acknowledges her privilege as a white, wealthy woman, and uses it to amplify marginalized voices rather than dominate them. She admits mistakes, like early missteps in cultural sensitivity, and learns publicly. Her feminism is intersectional, evolving, and grounded in research, not rhetoric. Today, at 34, she stands as a bridge between generations, a beloved childhood icon who grew into a thoughtful, principled leader. She proved that fame can be a platform for progress, that intellect and empathy are forms of strength, and that real magic isn't found in spells, but in showing up, speaking up, and lifting others as you rise. From reciting lines in a school play to addressing the United Nations, Emma Watson never lost her core belief that every girl deserves to be seen, heard, and educated. And in a world still grappling with inequality, her voice remains not just relevant, but essential.